Creating equivalent fractions by Mr. S in room 126. Creating equivalent fractions isn't nearly as hard as it sounds. You just need to remember one simple rule. Multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. By doing so, you'll rename the fraction, but you won't change what that fraction is worth. Let's take a look at a few examples. Looking here, we have 1/2. Following our rule, we would multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. Let's pick 2. So 2 over 2. Multiplying the numerators, 2 times 1 is 2. And multiplying the denominators now, 2 times 2 is 4. So our new fraction, our equivalent fraction, is 2/4. Let's look at this example here. We have 2/4. Looking at the shaded areas of each fraction, we can see that 2/4 is equivalent to 1/2. Let's try another example. Again, using the same method, 1/2 times, let's times it by 3 this time, 3 over 3. Multiply the numerators, 3 times 1 is 3. And now let's multiply the denominators. 3 times 2 is 6. Again, we've renamed our fraction 3/6. Looking at this model, we can see that there are 3 pie pieces that are shaded in for the total of 6. Again, each of the blue sections are the same value, although we've renamed the fraction now as 3/6. So 3/6 and 1/2 are equivalent. Let's try it one more time. Let's take 1/2 and multiply it by the next consecutive digit, which would be 4. So again, we multiply it by 4 over 4. So multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. Multiplying the numerators, 4 times 1 is 4, and the denominators now, 4 times 2 is 8. Again, looking at our model, 1/2 is equivalent to 4/8. Let's try this now with a completely different fraction. 1/3. Again, remember our rule. Multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. Let's pick 2 again. So multiplying the numerators, 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 times 3 is 6. 1/3 and 2/6 are equivalent. Again, looking at the pictures of the shaded piece, it shows that 1/3 and 2/6 are equivalent. Let's try that again with a different number. Let's multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3 this time. 1/3 times 3 over 3. Multiplying the numerators, 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times 3 is 9. So 3/9 is equivalent to 1/3. Looking at my model, 3/9 has the same amount of shaded space as 1/3. Therefore, these fractions are equivalent. Let's try that one more time. 1/3 times 4 over 4 now. Again, multiplying the numerator and the denominator by the same number. Remember your rule. 4 times 1 is 4. And now multiply the denominators. 4 times 3 is 12. Looking at the model here, 4/12. Look at each shaded part. 4/12 is equivalent to 1/3. So remember, the next time you need to create an equivalent fraction, you need to follow one simple rule. Multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number. You'll create an equivalent fraction and you won't change its value. I hope you enjoyed this video on creating equivalent fractions by Mr. S in room 126.